What's going on, YouTube? Another quick one here. It's 4 p.m. Going to be streaming Mortal Shell in a second. Going to upload this right after. We're going to go ahead and watch a POV. This time around, it's going to be of Ethan. Okay, we watched Ethan versus Team Liquid. He had like a 19 kill half in this game. So we're going to watch the CT side. And I want to talk a little bit about Ethan. So yesterday we uploaded the Sprout versus OG. Almost forgot the other team because it was like they were non-existent. OG got absolutely destroyed by the T set of Sprout, and we saw the cool calling there by Speedy. But originally my plan for this channel was to just do daily uploads and to upload POVs, because I think when you're one of the best ways to improve quickly is to watch POV demos as opposed to watch everyone's perspective or like a broadcast, for example. So I watched the broadcast, bits and pieces, and now I want to watch the POV. So I've got the off angle here to hold into the B site. Ethan taking a very kind of passive position. As you can see, he was aiming for the fallout. So as fast as Ethan is, we know Ethan's super quick, he's not trying to hit the shot in the window where people are jumbling up like the balls in Hungry Hungry Hippo. Instead, he's going to let them out and then try to hit the more calm, patient shot as they come strafing out of the window, clearing get right. Those off angles are angles you should always look for in your matches. And when you find one that works, just try it again and again and again. I'm going to use that spot now that I just saw Ethan use that. I actually played a very similar spot because of Flesha, where he would hold the window from that pillar and just stand there and wait as long as he had someone on cap. And Ethan here, he actually goes for the underpass play. Now, the Flesha play works well too. I like holding the window. But I have found that sometimes I'm aiming for the window, and someone will just jump across the screen out the window, and I won't be able to hit them. The second guy strafes out and kills me. So I actually kind of like how Ethan did it. Same idea, I think, is Molotoving where they fall out of the window. Again, just knowing they're going to come out, but trying to hit them when they're on the ground. That underpass play is the exact same way I do it as well. You'll see sometimes people will push up to the end of underpass and then wait there. But Ethan decided to right-click a flash. Once you get used to the velocity, the physics of the flash itself, you can kind of plan for exactly how much power you need and have it pop as they're running down the stairs. If they sit back at the top of the stairs, then it'll be looked at as a bad gamble. But when they're running down the stairs, it can be hard to dodge the flash. So on a pistol round like that, a play like that can make a lot of sense. Well, so far so good here on the anti-eco. And one of the reasons I want to watch POVs is because, like, there's not a lot of focus on players' crosshairs and how much movement, how much wasted movement there is, and where they aim for things, and all that dead time where nothing's going on. Like, what's their thought process like? Actually, this kill from Ethan opens things up drastically. It might have been a mistake to push off a cat in that spot, but they've got the sanitation engineering Grim to clean things up, and now we move on to round 4. Liquid are 3-0. Again, Ethan, something like 19 kill in this half. And Tarek had like 13 kills, but I think by the end of this game, they both had between like 110 and 120 ADR. And Evil Geniuses closed this game out like 16-8 or something like this. We're watching Cologne, by the way. Well, and something else I wanted to ask, actually, is what's the best piece of Counter-Strike advice that you've ever gotten? That's what I would like to see in the comments and answer to, because I am super curious about that, because I love hearing good advice that people have gotten. And the best advice I ever got was once, it's the reason I made this Swags crosshair placement video, is that my IGL once told me that I was holding my crosshair a little bit too low, and it like completely changed the way I played Counter-Strike. So like, what's a piece of advice that you've gotten that's had a huge impact on your game in Counter-Strike? These are the kinds of things we're going to look for in these demos. So Ethan was originally a ticket player in this situation. He's moved up the close A ramp. This angle is incredibly powerful for the CTs when you pop up. If a T's waiting for you, they're going to see your head bob, but they can't actually shoot before you. So if you've got good FBA, good first bullet accuracy, you're probably going to destroy in that fight every time. But your stay isn't always welcome if there's no smoke A ramp or a teammate to support you. Okay, so Ethan coming up Cat, and another kill here on Cat from a player kind of messing up positionally, I guess. I mean, maybe not a huge error, but it feels like they felt like the round was over. Maybe didn't expect to rotate into ladder room. Good rotate there from Ethan. Some players will jump Cat. The value, of course, of going to ladder room instead of Cat is you still get to Cat, but now if you miss the jump, you can still just try it again. Whereas if you miss the jump trying to go to Cat, you end up in underpass telling everybody you're going to go for the long flank when there's 10 seconds left on the bomb. So you get the palm tree flash to top mid to stop anybody. This is just a bit of feigning presence. You throw that flash to show the other team you might be pushing mid. But that one flashbang now might put into the minds of Liquid that they're taking mid control. So Liquid have now grouped up for the A hit. But there's 3 players from Evil Geniuses here. It's just a strong read by them. So let's see the movement. Ethan sees a CT smoke come through. And he's going to counter with not a smoke to A ramp, but a counter smoke in the middle of the site. This will allow him to play triple and make this position a bit more robust. Yeah, I think the final frontier of getting good at Mirage these days is watching POVs. It's not so much the team aspect. Everybody knows all the strats. We've got 500 different executes. Oh, this might be a cool angle. I know that Tarek wins this round. Player comes out here to Dennis. He pushes up, kills him. I think Stewie falls back to Dennis, and Tarek just, with the laser pointer, over top of default on the right side. Oof, and the zoning Molotov. Perfect, Stewie. Major winner versus major winner. Doesn't get more intense than that. But yeah, I feel like the final frontier of improving on this map and just improving in general is just POV demos. Look for every movement, you know, every choice, every decision. We've already seen that Ethan has amazing aim, but he's gotten a few kills already by shooting people in the side. Not even having to outflick them. So there's another counter smoke from him as opposed to smoking into the A ramp. Smokes pushes out CT a bit, creates something of a one-way for him to jump up, and whoa, what a combination of peaks. From up top to get some damage in to the side. And Alish, he sprays down Ethan and Tarek. It looks like that one's through the smoke. Don't know if he had vision for a second, but he definitely had an audible. But wasn't that cool from Ethan? Listen, I've said this a million times, but if aim was the only thing that was important in this game, Scream would be the best player in the world, right? Ethan's got the aim, but he's also very intelligent about the way he plays. And I also like watching him because he's quite proactive on CT side. He's not really a sitter. He plays kind of very high frag, dangerous positions like Banana on Inferno. I mean, being a ticket player is of course not one of those, but we saw that, you know, he's so far been on a number of parts of the map, whether it's the eco or pushing up to the A ramp with rifles. And so we're coming up on round 7, and this looks like a very good chance to eco Liquid, but because of the slight guns advantage, I wonder if Liquid can actually pull themselves out of this. And the answer to that question is obviously no now. Some patient P250 taps on Grim. And that's one thing I've been trying to personally work on. Is just when I know I have the kill, to not instantly flick and shoot. Sometimes I'll shoot so fast I'm shooting technically before I flick and it messes up my whole spray. But I'm trying to be more patient. But that's a me problem. I'm sure you guys already don't do that. All got different things to work on. I'm using a similar crosser to this. We got the thickness 0.5, draw outline 0.5, RGB all 255 here for the white crosshair. Gap -2, I'm calling it. I think -3 they're touching if I'm not mistaken. Now we've got another off angle. So these are like the snapshot moments. I'm like, okay, that's your angle. Like that's your favorite angle. I like that. We can see how Ethan clears all these angles. He's very, very precise. Absolutely no wasted movement. Almost never overflicks. Probably his defining characteristic mechanically. And he has a very good... You can see that he's very comfortable, where when he's flicking left to right, he almost never looks like he's flailing to reset his mouse. He's always just going across the plane perfectly evenly. That's something we don't get a lot of insight to, I think. Is how players think about their comfort and their comfort level on their mice, and how they think about, you know, where they put their mouse, how they move, why they chose their sensitivity. Interesting things like that. Another off angle being played by Ethan as he waits for another player to jump out of the window. That was like one of those, like that Drake lyric, we're in the same building, but we got different views. There's one on, he played from the cat pillar holding for the window jump out. Here he played from empty, holding for the doorway jump out of the apps. I think my game sound might be a little bit low. I'm going to turn it up a bit. Okay. So he's got a smoke in hand. Does he throw it? Looks like not. Waiting. Completely committed with his aim out. His teammate, I think, might have smoked the site for him. So it looks like Ethan's either throwing that smoke for himself or his teammate's throwing it. But that's how he likes to divide up the angle. So we know triple is not a good position to play without any utility, because you, once you get spotted, the guy in Palace is waiting for you to peek the left side once you get spotted ramp. If you get spotted Palace, the guy in ramp is waiting for you to peek. And both of those players can be safe if they're out to that point. So with that smoke, he's able to take a fight and avoid some spam damage as well. But still be useful, not just like smoke himself out. Okay, so it's a mid-control setup, something different. Breeze is taken post in ticket. Ethan tries to one-way the underpass, and Tarek just needs him to do this so that Tarek can fight forward and not have to worry about the flank. Could have been a great situation there for the mid-control that involved underpass, which is obviously pretty common. Trade situation is not bad. You know, Mirage, I don't think it's not the worst thing in the world to be even numbers on Mirage. It's always still slightly favored towards T's, I'd say, to be even numbers, lower than 5. Just slightly, but a lot of room for 2Ks and 3Ks and stuff from the CTs on this map. Very individual focused map. Crouches into that one. Now another off angle, trying to catch the cross. Not sure if he spotted Naf on get right. And of course, crafty Naffy is going to slither out off cap. And this is going to be a free site to plant. You can see he starts running, because at this point he knows. They came in to clear this, and Naf's one of those players, you hit tab, you see it's Naf, and you don't know what he's thinking. So that's why he's so good at these clutch situations. And look, oh, Naf actually has gone into jungle. This is gonna be a hard one to win for the CTs, because he for sure gets one for free here. They're not gonna clear the window. Yeah. And Ethan assuming he'll jump out. He doesn't. Oh, he doesn't have time to run back there. Oh, he's just going to stick. And he's actually very deep. Naf could spam him, but he hasn't peeked. Oh, ho, ho. Wow. That's one of those situations that it's a Hail Mary play from Ethan. He can't go and clear that. He doesn't have time to go and clear that. But Naf, if Ethan fakes and starts to crouch walk out, Naf could lose. So Naf plays it to the final second and then doesn't realize how deep Ethan could be. If you had planted on the very tip of triple, of course you can only plant on the front side or the part that's right in front of connector. If you planted on the edge of the part in front of connector, opposite triple I'd say, then he would have been good. He would have been gravy. I think they are calling for a restart of the round. I'm going to go ahead and skip. All right, so we're at A ramp. These are basic lineups that he's using for the nades. Not too hard to hit into A ramp, but of course, always good to have just a lineup. Make sure it's perfect. Nothing worse than getting one-wayed by your own smoke. So the CTs, they're just like this giant slinky all the way through CT spawn, giving up mid control completely. But here is an adjustment, okay? You can't end the round this way. Smoke comes up connector, but they've already moved forward. Suddenly, this has gone from 5 players around CT inside B to a 3-man setup on the A site. A lot of support here. Cirque's almost certainly watching the back of window. And a close A ramp setup. This is the prevalent way that teams are holding now on Mirage. Because you get a player at A ramp, he doesn't have to worry about anybody else. So it frees up rotations. You get info early on the execute, and you don't get flash as much in the A ramp as you would sitting somewhere random in the site. But either way, Liquid make a good call. They hit B in this situation. Not the place that EG decided to go and suss out some information. Let's see how Ethan plays it. I'm sure it was a nice shot by Cirque. Okay, playing it carefully. He goes unnoticed, and he's been doing a good job of that. I mean, you don't get to see it necessarily, but Ethan just appears to have the right amount of patience, right? He's getting these off timings on players. They're, like, as another player he shoots in the side of the head. The last player alive, he doesn't even realize he's there. And it's not like Ethan's coming out come from an unexpected position. Everyone retakes from market, but he's waiting enough. He's got teammates in spots that make things easier. And that's resulted in EG being able to win a high percentage of their B retakes, which is one of the harder sites to retake in the game. Not the hardest, but it could be easier. So we got a attack timeout called by the T's. Stewie going, okay, what the fuck, guys? Palm tree flash. I'll follow that flash again the next round. It was 4-man gaggle of the CTs over on the A site. A murder of CTs. They're banking on it. They have EG have shut down B, retaked B, retooken, rehaved B so many times. They're expecting Liquid to fall into this trap. So it's an unlosable round, okay? Jump spot. I think we learned from Dazed once upon a time, one of the most consistent and safe ways to get information on a site, especially in CT, where you can jump spot, get info on stairs, everything. Shoots another one on the side. That's an easy kill from Ethan. And then he ends up being a victim of that as well. And Stewie breaks open a site that had 4 players in it. Ethan could have played a bit more patiently there, but he had a teammate in a very volatile position. So being a bit more proactive, clearing out the A ramp was good. But what Stewie did was good as well. Now we're up to 15 already. Just like that. You know, in your game, sometimes you look at the scoreboard, you're watching a match, and you go, whoa, this guy has 18, 19 kills. Like, that's Ethan. Almost 0 of these kills have been extremely flashy. Yeah, he clearly has top-tier aim. Clearly. That's a great time. You know, I don't think people should be bragging about their flick shots, because all that means is that you were aiming in the wrong spot. It's essentially like bragging about winning on a scratch card. What you should be bragging about is the hours of demos that you watched, so that you never had to flick at all. That's what Crims brags about. Wow, so suspicious. And so right. Of course, in CT spawn, you're going to be the last to rotate. In ticket. Place your bets. Okay, I was going to say, does NAF kill him here? But yes, he does. And even a little bit of spam on the way out. So I think I've only got one half of the demo because the game crashed one round before. It might crash after this round, so we'll see. but this could be all she wrote. I think I've learned a lot personally already about the way he plays, the particular type of patience that he's got. And if I'm not mistaken, this is actually a pretty cool round as well. So got the push-up, holding the wall, with a flash from upper B to assist. The flash from a teammate in the B site means that it's harder to know for the T's if someone would actually push for information. And once they clear that out, look, they just group up into the CT spawn. Gotta love EG CT side right now, Mirage. Very cool stuff. A lot of gambles, but it's informed decisions. Another supporting flash for the peak. Trying to weaponize Ethan without giving away his position. He's still got a full belt of utility. And here, of course... Oh, okay. Well, yeah, he was looking for that fight. A situation where he could just peek out. And since he still has his smoke, he can use that to his advantage. Alish wants to trade, but he didn't want to trade with the bomb in hand, and Ethan's going to go ahead and get some more damage. And again, is abusing the fact that he can use the bottom of the smoke. Just beautiful. I mean, why not sit here? Especially while the smoke's still up. As soon as that goes down, he'll take eyes off the bomb for a second. M4 out, and he'll just go for the wild peek. And Stewie is a victim as well. Oh my gosh. Really great stuff. I mean, desperation on the third one, right? Like, he can't ask for any more help from his teammates. But at this point, the round's already won. And that's, of course, all about information, all about patience for Ethan. Always in a good spot where the action comes in about 5 to 10 seconds. And is just happy to sit and wait. Pick some good timings. And we saw a number of situations where Ethan had just shot someone in the side of the head. That's big. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and look at the HLTV statistics on that. And I'm pretty sure it was 19 kills or so after an 8-7 half. Ethan, at the end of the map, had a 1.93 rating. Pretty nuts. Let's take this look. Take a look here. And yeah, he ended the game with 29. And it was a quick finish as well. So he got most of his kills here in the first half. At 95% KAST. Always in a good spot. Always shooting people in the side of the head. No wasted movement with that crosshair. Really cool demo to watch. I think the number one thing for me was the smoke that was thrown in between default and triple that he used, whether it was his teammate or him, using that himself. The way that they recollected and pushed a ramp mid to late round, that was interesting as a team. And of course, that last round, how he used the smoke that he dropped for himself in the underpass. Those were a few cool things. So I'm going to upload this one. This one's going out today. And the next one's going out tomorrow. I'm going to keep uploading these. I'm going to try to make them maybe one half POV so we can talk about a player and a side. So you can just watch it, learn this player, how this player plays this side as a specialist, and just like copy and paste the stuff that you think is cool, put it in your next game. So yeah, I'll ask the question again. What's the best Counter-Strike advice that you've ever gotten? That's what I would like to know. And go ahead and subscribe because I'm going to keep going with these daily uploads. Been on a streaming routine, and I'm going to make it a video. I'm going to throw in a YouTube video every day as part of that routine as well. Cool. Thanks for watching.